Hello, financial investors, and welcome to the channel. My name is Brent, and today we are going to be doing our weekly recap for the 25th through the 29th of May 2020. We're going to go ahead and take a look at last week's changes for the week. Then we're going to go ahead and jump into some information that was posted this week here on Facebook. Jump into two companies I was looking forward to in earnings, such as Costco and Salesforce. Then we're going to jump into taking a look at the four main indexes, the performance for this week, the entire S&P 500 performance, take a look at the stocks that were strongest and weakest for this week, and also look at the sectors themselves. Then we're going to go ahead and jump and take a look at oil, the dollar, silver, gold, bonds, and finish it off taking a look at mortgage rates changes for this past week. So if you're interested in any sort of stock market, dividend investing, or personal finance, definitely subscribe to the channel. Click in the little icon below, hit the bell to be notified every time I release a new video, which is mainly every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And of course, if you do enjoy this video, find it helpful, entertaining, give this video a thumbs up. And let's go ahead and get into the video. So last week, I posted the changes for the 18th to the 22nd of May. The S&P 500, along with all the other indexes, had rallied over 3%. The S&P up 3.2%, Dow Jones up 3.29%, the Nasdaq up 3.44, and the Russell 2000 up a whopping 7.84%. So big changes there with the four main indexes. Silver also popped higher, 3.22%. Gold went back a bit at negative 0.43%, and bonds moved upwards of 0.33%. So the 10-year rate was at 0.66. The mortgage rates remained flat from the previous week at 3.56%. So my question was, if you can give your portfolio a title, what chapter would you give it? And mine was happy and confused because it is up in the green by now 12-15% now, after having gone down 20-25% just a few months ago. So here we are, up 15%, whereas we were just down 20% in that $14,000 range. Now we're hitting $23,000 within our M1 Finance Roth IRA account that we kind of show off publicly here on the channel. So some of the information that we posted was some of the earnings that were coming up this week. So the two that I was looking forward to was Costco and Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM. So how did these two companies do? Well, Costco did miss there, but if we take a look at their revenue growth year over year, they are positive by 7.3%. So earnings and revenue came in a little bit lower than expected. They had reported 189. They had expected 182. So that was a slight miss there of 1.6%. Really nothing bad there. With what has gone on, you would actually expect Costco to have came in pretty close, and this is actually fairly close. So I'm not going to knock them for that. Revenue slightly missed of negative 0.7%. So again, really nothing major. The main thing here I want to focus on is that the revenue grew 7.3% on a year-over-year basis, and their earnings has remained continuing there in the upwards direction. Costco being one of the companies that I do hold within the portfolio. Now the other here that I was taking a look at was Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM. I also own a very small position in this one as well. Now they also came in line. So what does that mean? They basically just came flat for flat. So they had reported 70 cents of earnings. They're essentially had estimated around 68, 70 cents is what this website Earnings Whisper had reported them at or expected. So that was essentially flat there on the earnings, so 0-0, and revenue came in just slightly over at a 0.3% increase on the revenue. Now the main thing here I wanted to look at was their earnings growth and their revenue growth. CRM is a highly growth company, so this is one that I've added into my growth pie over on the M1 Finance side. So earnings growth year over year up 20.7%, revenue growth year over year 30.2%. So very nice there, very nice. So if you want to pause the video, take a look at the report here that came in, or also Costco. If you guys want to take a look, pause the video, take a look at, how Costco had done during this time frame. Now with that said, let's go ahead and move back over to Facebook. I did post one new video this week. I didn't do anything on Wednesday. I really wanted to. I have a bunch of questions in the comment section of this past week's videos, I'm going to be making some videos for this upcoming week where I will release answering some subscriber questions. So if you ever have a question on any of the platforms, on investing, stock market, dividends, real estate, or just generally personal finance, drop it into the comment sections and I do read and reply. And of course, if I find it interesting that'll benefit everyone, all the viewers, subscribers here on the channel, I will turn it into a video because it'll benefit everyone on a larger platform there. I also posted one other thing here. I did take profits on AVI. I know I had mentioned that either my Saturday video or my Monday video on where I had seen AVI hitting some resistance once again. So this is a lengthy post here. I won't go too far into it. AVI did recently beat on their earnings. They showed earnings and revenue growth for the quarter, also revenue growth year over year of 10.1%. But why did I sell them? I kind of explain here. Now, as of their 52-week high is around $97. That leaves a roughly 7% to the upside. Whereas AVI right now, where we are in the market, also where AVI is currently trading at, I don't feel at this time that there's much more upside potential, and that if the market and AVI as a itself comes back, it would be more, the chance is much higher than 50-50%. I would say that it has a 51% higher to fall back just slightly. So I did implement a little bit of selling at $91.03, and I put some limit buys at $85 and I believe also $82.50. So I'll wait patiently for the stock to retract. I think I put in like $750 buy at $85 and another $250 buy or something around $82.50. So that's just some of the information there as to when I buy. When I see resistance, as I had shown here in the screenshot, I've seen resistance here with AVI in the past, and right around this $91 to $97 range. It just doesn't go any higher than that. It doesn't have any reason to with the current market conditions, and while their earnings is in line, their revenue's in line, they have revenue growth year over year, it is just not that time where I would see them shooting above $100, and I would see them more or so falling back slightly. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely head over to my Facebook page, the Financial Investor 101. Links are down in the comment section below. And that was everything that I posted this week. So let's go ahead and jump into the indexes now. So S&P 500 this week, we already saw last week, it put on a 3% gain. Here we are once again this week, put on 3.01% there. So really not a whole lot of negative news this week besides the 41 to 44 million individuals unemployed. That was the total number of unemployed individuals that came out Thursday. Besides that, look at that. Green, 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 green. If you had money, you could just throw it and it would be positive. So Dow Jones basically following the other indexes. You can see a bit more red out there this week, but the majority of those gains, it just kind of held for the week. So look at this. Friday, negative 0.04, Thursday negative 0.58, Friday negative 0.07. We had Memorial Day on Monday, so maybe there's some good news getting posted out. And Thursday we had the job numbers essentially, and beyond that, even though a lot of the companies that have been watching doing earnings haven't really done really well, the stock market for whatever reason, getting pumped full of cash, is going higher and higher back towards getting basically flat for the year. NASDAQ put it in half the gains as the S&P of the Dow Jones. So here we are, S&P 3.01, Dow Jones 3.75. NASDAQ here cooling off a bit after it's already positive year to date by 5.76. It is up 1.77% here on the week. Now the Russell 2000, this one put on 7% plus last week. Here it is this week, put it on another 2.84%. It is still trailing quite a bit behind all the other indexes here, down a whopping 16.45% here on the year to date. Now S&P 500 as a whole, this is Friday's performance, so I'm going to be posting a screenshot as I do with my weekly recaps over on my Facebook page. So if you're taking a look at this and you're kind of looking at what sector is kind of cooling off a bit, the companies that have done really well year to date. So if we move over here and look at year to date performance, Amazon up 32.17, Google 7.03, Facebook 9.67, Apple 8.27, Microsoft 16.2. So if we look at the 1 week here, what companies are negative? Amazon down 0.18%. Google still positive there, 1.9%, but Facebook down negative 2.72, Netflix negative 3.79, Microsoft negative 0.10, Apple slightly positive there at 0.34%. These FANG stocks are starting to lose a little bit of their thrusters. They've rocketed, they kept the market strong this whole time, and they've kind of encouraged investors to buy into the index, into the S&P 500 or the total market ETFs. And what other indices, or not indices, institutions are kind of buying up the ETFs and funds and all the other fun stuff out there in the market, kind of propelling the rest of the market up. These are kind of the thrusters are kind of falling off. They're kind of maybe coming down to earth. So we might see a little bit of a cool off within the indexes as the main FANG stocks don't push the market up as high. So a lot of the performance this week was not from the FANG stocks, where the FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Microsoft, I don't know if I had said that already, but they make up roughly 25% of the S&P 500, and all of them, besides Google and Apple slightly there, was negative this week. That means the rest of the S&P 500 was what really pushed it up that 3%. So we're in a kind of I think we're in like a teeter-totter. I don't really know if the upcoming weeks will be positive. If we see the rest of these companies begin to kind of take off on their own, and the FANG stocks maybe cool off while the rest of the market kind of picks up where they've been slacking, then we may see the market slowly recover to some breaking back into the positive for the year. That's very crazy to say and hear, but it could potentially happen. Check out Cisco, that's up 7.12%. It's just some crazy stuff out there. Financials, Verizon, look at all that green out there. I don't know what ticker symbol the DFS is and the SYF, but those are up 12, 16% there. Look at the financials down here. JP Morgan, 7.92%. Bank of America, Wells Fargo up 8.22%. So much green out there. It's just so much out there. Oil and gas still pretty much negative there. So, I like to see the rest of the market kind of pushing the total market higher, where the FANG stocks are kind of taking a break. So we'll kind of see. Maybe the FANG stocks will kind of kick it back up and help with the rest of the market. The upcoming weeks will kind of play off and kind of show what the upcoming weeks and months will kind of play out to be. So oil, USO, ticker symbol, is moving up slightly this week, up 1.64%. The dollar this week did cool off. So last week we started the week around 99.76. Take a look at this. It is moving down slightly. So the dollar and the bond market doesn't really fall in line. So here, okay. So generally when you see the dollar getting weaker, you might see bonds going positive. So here it is up 0.31%, but that doesn't always take place anymore. I've seen a lot of times where the dollar's moving higher, the bond market's moving higher, silver's moving higher. Last week, silver was up 5% plus. Now it's up 3.84%, 3.8%. And I was talking about this last week here, where they're hitting that $17 threshold, where they've only hit it here for a slight period. You're going to hit some resistance here. It's going to be really hard to break into that $17 point and stay above it for very long before it kind of breaks back down. So I would be, if you're buying ticker symbol SLV or any other ETF or fund that tracks silver, you might want to potentially look into it a little bit further, maybe take some profits and let some of your equity just kind of sit in there, your profits sit in there and just take out your initial equity. But, it could be something to consider. The gold here, ticker symbol GLD, is negative again for the second week in a row. -2 this week. I think last week it was down about 0.35%. Bonds. So here we are. 10-year. It was, I believe, 0.66. Yeah, so 0.66 was the 10-year in the last week when we did this. So it is moving down just 0.01%. Not a big loss there on the week. and mortgage rates. So I haven't checked this out this week. If we take a look here, where are the mortgage rates at? So again, it remains unchanged for the third week in a row. This is showing, yeah, it says basically it was unchanged. So last week it was 3.56. This week is 3.56. The week prior to last week it was negative. It was 3.56. So mortgage rates are essentially staying flat. I am going to be wrapping up my refinance on my personal home. I was able to keep my same terms on my loan. I think I have 22 years left on my 30-year loan. I was able to keep my loan amount. I only got charged $400. I was able to lower my rate from 3.75 to 2.75%, knocking my mortgage from like the $800 point to in the $700 point. So very, very easy, affordable. I make more than that elsewhere than besides my W-2 job. So if I were to get fired, I feel very comfortable that I could live in my home indefinitely, paying off my mortgage and having extra income on the side to supplement my food and other utility bills and stuff like that. So easily manageable with that mortgage. So that is going to be it for this week. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know in the comment section below. Hey, I really enjoyed this style of video. If there's anything you would like to have added into these videos, I would also like to know that as well. Let me know in the comment section. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed but are watching this video, coming back on a weekly basis, I would really appreciate if you do go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified every time we release a new video here on the channel, which is essentially every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And of course, if you haven't yet, give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.